I'm gonna hold this up. So this is third person singular. Single. So let's have the first person singular. That is, I wrote it. That is car. Katati. Katati. That's katati. Which means I wrote. I wrote katati. So this is the structure it takes for a perfect action in Hebrew. Let's say the imperfect action, because the perfect action is formed here by the introduction, that's the addition of subject prefixes to the relatively fixed stem. All right, so and this is the stem. So currently we're gonna learn the root, not the stem, and the Hebrew Baba system. But for now, what should be learned at this stage, I mean, to be understood at this stage, is that the perfect action in this context is formed by the introduction or addition of the subject, suffixes, and the relatively fixed stem. The subject, suffixes, and the relatively fixed stem. This is the stem. Then we have the suffixes. Suffixes. All right. So now let's see the imperfect action, because the imperfect action takes a different structure. So, and that also helps to showcase the person and the number. All right. So the imperfect action or structure takes, I've said, a different stem. I mean, takes a different shape. We have different step, different stem, and we have prefix, says suffixes. Now this different stem will be seen now, and as well here we're able to see the person, the number, and the gender of that particular in that particular sentence. Now let's have a word like the two, which means he will write. Right, said earlier that the perfect action is seen as an incomplete action, an action in an incomplete state. I said in English is seen as a present tense or a future tense. All right, so now let's address this by that stem. Yikto. Yikto. Where was this? Where was this? And it means he will write. He will write. So Yiktu means he will write. So it's seen as a future tense in English. Alright, then we have another example. Let's have a book. Now let's look for chick to man. You have tiktubna. That means they from plural will write. They will write. Tiktubna, they will write. So, and another thing to note about the Hebrew verbal system is that we have actually every root, every stem, every verb has its own root in the car verb system. Actually, every word in Hebrew has its root in the car verbal stem of the Hebrew. So this is part of the structure of the Hebrew stem, which will be learned subsequently. But only it is right to note that every word has some root in car verb system or stem of the biblical Hebrew. All right. Then another thing to note about this is that the car structure is formed from the Hebrew word ka la, which means to be light, to be light. So this car we have majorly third person singular masculine structures. So note that the biblical Hebrew is a verbal language, I've said, and we'll be learning a few things from the root, which is called the shortest, in the next teaching. This is just an introduction to the biblical Hebrew verb. So we will learn today the verbal system, and it was said that the Hebrew language is a Semitic language, and the words there are formed by the introduction of prefixes, suffixes, and emphasis. Then we learned that in Hebrew it has no tense, and then tense connotes or indicates time. So to get time, to showcase time in Hebrew, then it's very important that we take great attention to the take attention to the context. The context will determine what time the statement or the event happened. All right, then we learned that the perfect action, because we said we have two actions in Hebrew. We have the complete action, the action in a complete state, and we have actions in the incomplete state. Then the ones in the complete state is seen as the perfect action, and in English is seen as a past tense, as action has been completed. Then the other one, which is the imperfect action, is seen in English as a future tense or present tense. Then we were able to see how the perfect action is formed. So it's formed by the addition of the subject, suffixes, and the relatively fixed stem. The subject, suffixes, and the relatively fixed stem. Then we had an example like he wrote, katab, then I write, katabti. Then we are able to address the imperfect action. I would say this takes a kind of a different stem, and it helps to showcase the person, number, and gender, which is symbolically by the addition of prefixes and suffixes. And we had an example, two examples. You will write, then they will write. So I believe this teaching has been impactful so far. So I like to take this, reflect on it, and in a subsequent lecture, we'll be addressing the shortest, and that's the root where we have these verbs. So there's a root, just like a branch of tree, where we have a good number of branches, which help to understand the Hebrew verbal system. Thank you for watching. Shalom.